the idea of self is what has defeated us comes after, and the real relief is there is no self, which is before. And so that's the non-duality space. The non-duality space is before time. So what can happen in time and after time is sort of annulled by what's before time. And this is the message of non-duality. Therefore, if you can't comprehend it or understand it or experience it, it's best to try to comprehend things you can comprehend and understand things you can understand. And you can understand what you're not. You can. If someone gives you a simple understanding or passes it on as it was passed on to them, maybe you'll see how we're almost in a yay or a consent attitude, listening to the narrative played in the head, which is constantly referring back to this idea that you're the doer of shit you have nothing to do with. You're the thinker of the thoughts, the feeler of the feelings, the actor of the actions. And so what non-duality does is, the assumption is being ourselves reality, and then we question, why the hell are we looking for reality if we are being ourselves reality? And then the first move would be thinking, I'm going to stop looking for reality, but this move is different. It's you just see that which is looking for reality is not you. Yeah, that sort of encapsulates the whole message. Yeah. The reaction from the not you would be, I've got to stop, seeking for reality. Doesn't work, does it? No. What you see is when that is brought up, the reaction to hearing the message, being ourselves reality, that which is not taking itself to be reality, but as a long-lasting, independent, separate entity, arises and sort of reacts to that and goes, oh, I've got to stop looking for reality. And then bam-o, you've now seen something. Yes? You've seen what you're not in like you've seen the emperor with no clothes. This is the beauty of non-duality's logic. It sort of brings out the insane logic of the mental activity, where a lot of things are being built to fit around that insane logic. Non-duality stands alone and just doesn't budge and just says, being ourselves reality, the greatest mystery is reality wanting to attain reality. Now, if you find yourself in that situation, obviously, you're not taking yourself to be reality in a way, or the reality you're taking yourself to be is not real. Yeah, because if you are reality, why would you spend any time wanting to attain reality? Yet that's the assumption and basically the stated fact of non-duality, being ourselves reality. Yeah. So what would that indicate? Do you want to start learning more about reality or learn more about what thinks it's something else and has to attain reality? I think the latter is the important message. Yeah. So we had this thing, the first video we ever did was sheep and lion. Yeah. Because this had a huge impact on me. Because and what happened is I heard the parable and then a lot of stuff was added to it, which seemed more important in a sense than the parable itself. So the idea is that there's a lion, a young lion, and based on circumstances, its mother gets killed, and then it's wandering around and gets adopted by a herd of sheep, and it lives as if it's a sheep. Yep. Its thinking is as if it's a sheep. It's doing as if it's a sheep. It's everything as if it's a sheep. And it has this moment one day when an old lion shows up and sees the herd of sheep and wants to eat one of them and runs after the herd of sheep. The old lion sees this young lion running with the sheep, which is sort of confusing, and he just veered off and grabbed the young lion. And the young lion knew what a lion was, seemingly, because he says, oh, Mr. Lion, please, I'm just a humble sheep. Do not eat me. So it isn't like he He didn't have an idea of what a lion was, but whatever idea he had about a lion, it was held as a sheep. Yes. So this is the bondage of a mistaken sort of identity. So the lion has not lost any part of its nature except the living of it, basically. Yeah. He's living as if he's a sheep, which means he's living in interpretation. So he's not really living in the pulse of life, because the pulse of life would demonstrate it's a lion and he's taking itself to be a sheep. So he's listening to an interpretation as a lion that has it convinced that it's a sheep. Yeah, simple as that. So the message was, the old lion just drags the young lion over to a water hole, puts both their heads out. The young lion sees the image, not of the old lion. He already saw that image, but he saw his own image in the water, and it matched the old lion's image. Yes? Now, he hadn't been seeing his image. He was living from the image of a sheep. He never saw it himself. Yeah? So he was just taking himself to be a sheep, all the while being a lion. When he saw his image in the water, he got it, because he had someone who delivered the message, which was a lion itself. Yeah? So he saw the old lion, and he saw, more importantly, him as a lion. Not the old lion as a lion. He already saw that. He sees himself as a lion. And no matter how long he thought he was a sheep, that length of thinking he was a sheep did not make him a sheep. No matter how short he thought he was sheep, did not make him a sheep. Nothing had ever made him a sheep. Yeah. He just believed he was. Yeah. And this is the power that we actually represent. If you don't see it, that you're making shit out of nothing most of the day, that's a miraculous power that's being demonstrated. It's demonstrated in a weird way, having last week override your experience of today, but that's miraculous, literally. Yeah. They thought it was a great miracle when Jesus brought Lazarus back from the dead, but Lazarus had been alive. We are making shit out of nothing quite a lot. Yeah. That's incredible. So, all right. What happens when that old lion takes off and the water hole isn't available and it's not seeing its image, and every sheep it looks like is telling him that he's a sheep? Basically, as he's walking away from the water hole, the sheep program overwhelms the system and now interprets the revelation of being of a lionhood as an experience the sheep had. Yeah. And now this once again, this programming override the incredible instantaneous recognition of its nature. It could not stand up in time and space to the programming. And this is what I feel the importance of the message is, that you're not a sheep. I do not think the importance of the message is you're a lion. You already are one. Yes? Just like when I found myself chanting, I'm not a body, and I realized the only thing that would chant it's not a body is a body. Yeah? What's not a body knows it's not a body. It's not in any confusion. Yeah? Yeah. But when there's no knowing of the spirit, it may take itself to be a body. Yeah. And there you are chanting, you're not a body, as something that's not a body. Yeah. This is the greatest mystery. And another example that Ramana said, the greatest mystery being ourselves reality is wanting to attain reality. There's another example of it. Yeah. Yeah. We want to experience our own absence. We actually believe there's an experience which is called our absence. And you can be there to have it. That's insane. So what happened is I heard these parables, but then the other aspect was downloaded, and it told me emphatically, if you don't see this, you're looking from it. Yeah. So what's the point of trying to clarify all you're looking if where you're looking from is a mistake? Yeah. I've met a lot of clear fucking people that were unclear about that. Yeah. And I don't care about the wealth of clarity after. Yeah. I much rather see the efficiency of the clarity before, which is I'm not that. Yes? Because clarity isn't going to give you the eyes to see it. You're using the eyes of it to see it. Yeah? This is the dilemma. We're using the Buddha to seek the Buddha. Why do you think in Zen they say if you see the Buddha walking in the street, shoot him? Why would you think, why? Why would you say that? Because what they mean, I feel, is you're projecting your own Buddha nature onto someone else. And to get rid of that false idol, you'll be able to see your own Buddha. Yes? But while you're thinking someone else is a Buddha, it's reinforcing the thinking that you're not a Buddha. I saw it at my first few satsangs. Came into a big hall, and there was all these people, and then there was a guy sitting a little higher up by himself, and you could feel the dynamic of it. The people that were sitting believed the guy that was sitting a little higher up had something they did not have. Yeah. Now, while all the satsang was going on, that other thing was being reinforced. Yes? It was. Because I think this guy's awake, and obviously I'm sitting here listening to him and worshiping the dude. I mustn't believe that I'm awake. Yeah? Wow. So the guy shared, and the guy came out of the Zen tradition, and he started laughing, which I hadn't heard him do before. And he said, you know, I'm like a man standing by the river selling water. I said, what? And he says, then he started really laughing. He says, it's even funnier than that. I'm a man standing in the river selling water. And I left and I never went back. Yes. Because I realized I'm wet as hell trying to buy a bottle of water. That's insane, isn't it? So here we are. This is, I don't know, thousands and thousands and thousands of satsangs later, and nothing new is in this message. It's nothing new. Because if you're not the looker that you're working to become more clear as, then all the clarity that is claimed by the looker isn't serving you to see clearly. Yes? I hope all your endeavors to attain reality fail. I hope all your endeavors to get it fail. I hope all your work of trying to listen to hours and hours of videos to understand it, I hope that fails. So you'll finally realize the failures are your greatest successes. Yeah. Because could you imagine if you could reach what you are? That would mean you're not what you are. Yeah. That would be the complete anti-non-duality message. It would be, if I can arrive at that place, I mustn't be that place. Then why the hell have you been going to non-duality meetings? Non-duality meetings is you are that already. Yeah. Let's just negate or look at what doesn't think so and wants to arrive there or get there or have it or just experience it and then not experience it at its own leisure, all like this. Yeah. To see all that activity as not yours. Yeah. And so when what you're not shows up, you'll greet it with, I'm not that. It's not like you're killing it or vanquishing it or stabbing it or wrestling with it. It's almost the irrelevance that kills it, really. You're just not that. Yeah. And then what? You'll find out a lot of stuff. You will. You won't, but there'll be a finding out of a lot of stuff. And I feel if this one domino, that aha that you had when you went to satsang, if that's tied with an understanding of the mechanical claiming of the mental activity of anything conscious contact brings it into contact, with that understanding, you will see the thief because before you send yourself as the policeman to get it. Yeah. You'll see the thief and the policeman are the same character, just wearing a different outfit. You will. Yeah. And I don't know what, you'll see what happens. You won't be looking for reality, I'll tell you that much. You will not. Yeah. You may be actually finding out you're looking from reality all the time, but you're not going to be looking for it because these things will have whacked you. This is the power of these messages. That's why they don't have 30 pages. They're like 1 or 2 sentences. Yeah. Because it's that knockout punch, that Zen bit slap that goes a lot farther than, let me explain. No, whack. You're not that. Yeah. And then you'll see all the understandings that fuel all the activity to be that, at a later date. Or I was once that, and now I have to do a lot of mea culpas to go back and be that again, or I'm going to become it. No, you are it right now. What? Yeah. Wait a minute. I'm not ready for it. Yes, exactly. Oh, I got to get the settings right. No, you don't. Oh, I don't have my favorite incense on. It doesn't matter. Yeah. This is like the thief in the night. It comes in when you haven't even invited it. Yeah. And there it is. Yeah. Rest. Rest. The journey's fucking over. You've been greeted with the answer upon having never left. There you go. What? Yeah. Upon having never left. All your arrivals were just to get to that point upon having never left. Yeah. Yeah. Now, if your head likes to go on trips, great. Yeah. You love to plan trips, great. Yeah. But then you'll be in on the joke when you arrive. The wind will whisper once again on having never left. Yeah. And you'll have a big smile on your face because now you've understood something. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Who's running the show tonight? Oh, Kathleen, I think. Yeah.
I guess I am. If anybody has any questions or comments they'd like to make?
Now, Kathleen, you know that this is going to expand. You're going to run my life on Wednesday night from 7 to 8, and then it's going to be Thursday starting at 8 a.m. and just going to expand. All right. Yeah. I'll be on the back of that 3-wheel fucking thing with you.
I can help you out in whatever time I have available, Tom.
I know.
I'm really busy. I'm a really busy person. I got lots to do.
You are. Yeah, I understand that. And so many people want some of you, so yeah. I'll get in the back of the line. I'll take the crumbs. It doesn't matter.
Tomorrow I'm going to go to an amusement park with my son and my grandchildren.
Wow.
Oh, it's Hershey Park. You guys know Hershey candy?
Yes.
We're going to go there tomorrow.
It poisoned millions of people over the years.
Yeah. We're going to ride on the rides, though. We don't care about the chocolate.
Yeah. Hershey's, Pennsylvania.
That's it. Somebody has their hand up. We did it. Nairo, come on in.
Hello.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, I guess
Can
I
you
just
put up your
wanted to-
volume a little bit, Naro?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Can't hear you.
One moment.
The message is new, but my ears are old.
All right, is this better?
Yes, very good. Thank you.
All right, cool. Yeah, I guess I just wanted to share a little, because when I kind of like began on this whole spiritual path stuff, I would listen to some sad songs, I guess, to some talks, and people would say like stuff similar to what you're saying, but it just didn't go through. It was just like I was thinking, oh, that's like a doctrinal position, or like, oh, they don't really mean what they mean. But then, then once and then you go through your own practices. You practice meditation, you do insight practice, etc., etc. And then it still doesn't, pick out the bottom. you know, you're still standing on something.
Yeah.
And you just get so frustrated. But then at some point, you realize that it's still like, since you're practicing within a frame of being someone who does something, it like you can't catch your own tail in a way. And then
Yes.
you can just like, this kind of framing can just release. I don't know. I don't know how to put it. And then like nothing changes. Like it's still ordinary experience, but the frame of being a subject just, you know, and it's very simple. But like I kind of like now I see that I had to go through all the practices because I was, you know, I had this idea that I have to do them, and they did help a little, but they, you know, like I guess to just go through that shit to leave it behind, and then you're just faced with the very basic fact that there is still like basic delusion, and so it's hard to put into words, but like now the stuff that you're saying makes like it's very clear. Like you're actually being very clear about this stuff, but it wasn't landing before I had to kind of like, you know, find my way through it to see it. It's really funny.
You're saying it very clearly. Yes. Well, this is how it goes. A saying in the Course in Miracles captures it for me. We're dreaming ourselves out of the dreaming. And as we do, so we're dreaming ourselves out of the dreaming. Yeah. And as we do the dreaming, as we dream ourselves out of dreaming, the dream will get happier. So basically, you do all this stuff for it to fail, which is its success. Yeah. So you tried and tried in a lot of different ways, and then it doesn't work. And that's really its value, is that it doesn't work. So we're always looking for success to be like a success, when actually the failure is the greatest success, because then you're left with your own devices and you see they're not your devices. Yeah. Yeah.
I
So that
mean,
which wants to know isn't you. That which wants to grasp isn't you. That which wants to experience isn't you. So you learn by thinking, by trying to grasp and know and learn as that you're not. That's one of the ways it works. This is a dualistic event. So sometimes if you look one way, you don't drive into the parking space, you back into the parking space. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, this was surprising to me. But then after a while, you could see the pattern of it all. And you could see that this is how they were successful, by failing, which was awesome. So you can say the same thing and have a whole different meaning. Like, I'm never going to get it could be a really frustrating, fucked up state, or I'm never going to get it. Hallelujah. Yeah. But the fact is you're never going to get it. But the responses can be different. Yeah. Yeah.
well, it's like, and this stuff, you know, in hindsight, you can see that, yeah, you're just like cutting off, you know, like ways backing yourself into a corner until, you know,
Yes.
yeah, but when you're in it, it's super fucking frustrating. You have no idea. Like it's so bad.
Well, I do in a way, because I, I've been here with a lot of people, and this isn't an unusual. See, the path of non-duality isn't a path towards anything, but the path would be how it expresses. Yeah. And this I've heard many times with people. And because we are reality dreaming, the frustration can seem as real can be. Yes. But that frustration, when it snaps, brings a finality. Yeah. It can bring a condition of being convinced. And then that little tributary of interest and attention just dries up. Yeah. And now I really feel what people, speaking about presence is undirected interest and attention. So all the interest and attention I need to navigate a day isn't really that much. Yeah. And so if I'm completely occupied by every day that came before and every future day that came after, it can be draining. But that's all those tributaries have dried up. So I'm here, and there's a lot of undirected intention, interest, and attention, which is the sense of presence. So, and that brings about, it gives the action figure a condition if it can never get, which is content and satisfied. So the action figure becomes content and satisfied without getting anything. Yeah. It just gets chilled out. And then you realize a lot of your noble searchings was really because you were dissatisfied and very agitated. Yeah. When you get satisfied and content, you're not driven to do that much. I'll tell you the truth. It doesn't, at least in this case. Yeah. A lot of the bell that demanded to go ahead was based really on trying to get out of something, not getting into something. And when I realized I wasn't that which I was trying to get out of, which was me, a lot of those desires and hobbies of getting out of myself just got dismissed. So yeah, thank you for the share. That was very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, get frustrated and pissed off at me, come back in a year or something, and I may make sense. What happened? I changed? No. uh, yeah. All right. Anyone?
It looks like William stamps. William, go ahead and unmute yourself, hon. We can't hear you.
Just like that. Yeah, I had an experience that I had a couple of years ago.
I missed some of what you were saying. You just came in. So last thing I heard was experience I had a couple of years ago.
I want to share a couple things that I had a couple of years ago.
All right.
I never smoked pot heavily, but at one point I had a little issue smoking it. And I had a very, very high meditation. And the meditation brought me to the void, okay? The empty void. And I was up to there, and there was a line that I was afraid to cross, and I backed away from it. And I've been beating myself up a little bit about that. I said, well, why didn't I just go into the void instead of pulling myself back? And it's kind of like gives me a problem every now and then. Not a big issue, but it does come back.
Yes. That's one of its greatest tricks. It says something that's always available at all times, right where you are, is an exotic, once in a lifetime opportunity. And if you don't take it, you really blew it.
That's exactly how I felt.
Yeah, exactly. I've had it before. Probably everyone at this meeting has had it before.
But it was so palatable that I could grasp it. I said, oh, how did I blow that? I've been working so hard and I blew it.
Yes. This is not unusual, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of the yeah. I went to a place where they were sort of promoting trying to wake up or something. And they had this lady that was there, and she shared that she was crying that she had been brought to the cliff and she didn't jump. And she was doing the same mea culpa you were doing. Yeah.
What is a mea culpa? What's a mea culpa?
It's so yeah.
What is a mea culpa for?
A mea culpa is like, God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Beating
Yeah.
yourself up. Yeah.
Yeah. I really blew it.
Yeah,
You're
right.
in it right now.
I was,
This is it. This is the scariest fucking thing to the head. This is it.
yeah, I mean,
It loves the idea of a exotic,
Yeah.
smoke-filled void. Nope. Novato, California is the location of the void right now.
that helps me a lot, Paul. That really helps me a lot.
Huh?
And I say that really helps me a lot.
Right, right. No, I've been there and many people here have.
Okay, because
Yeah, it's one of its one of its best like aces in the deck. It waits, and then when it has that opportunity, it likes to play it.
oh, brother.
Do you remember that time?
Yeah. It'll play on your head.
Evan knocked on your door and he didn't open it up.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
This is the thing about in Zen, you know, your eyelash moves and it's 10,000 years. This is what the head does. It does. It uses time unbelievably. Like that which is available at all time suddenly becomes unavailable except for someone chosen at one moment. And if you go yay or nay, it changes every fucking thing. You're not that important, nor is the void. This is why we call it dog shit awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the ordinariness is opens up to a panoramic view. The myopic view of super important exotic peak experiences don't do that. No. Yeah. So yeah, I hope you can get over that, bro.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And what do you think? You get one invitation a lifetime or something? Yeah. Oops. I was watching Die Hard 3. I shouldn't have been watching Die Hard 3. And I was thinking, this bad guy sucks. Where's that guy that was in the first one? What was his name? And then, oh, I missed a package. It was dead on arrival. What the fuck? All that practicing for what? No, you're not that important. There's nothing. The universe doesn't come and say, everything depends on you. So it's not like a Marvel comic of whatever you call it, the multiverse or something. You know what I mean? This is the head would love to have. Don't you see what's happening? The head's going so out there. All they have is cartoon movies. They're like fucking, you wear an exotic spandex thing. You have superpowers because you feel like you're fucking nothing during the day.
It likes to play games with you. I mean, it's seriously bringing up games for you to participate in, which make no sense.
Of course. And then the one game that you could have won, it's sort of like I was kissing the guru's foot, and then I interrupted myself. A hummingbird flew by, and I blew the whole fucking thing. Now he always wears socks. I can't see him. He's wearing boots every time. I can never get to that foot again. Fuck. The head is amazing, man. If you share stuff, you're going to see your unique experience that has been had by many. It's not.
That's all I see.
Yeah, the narration isn't unique. It does it to everyone. Yeah. Yes. It's always on you that you missed the appointment or the delivery, or you didn't do enough or have enough or think enough or meditate enough. It's always on you. You're the most important aspect of the event when you're not. The head sees it as the most important aspect. You're like miscellaneous. You have no meaning whatsoever. You go to sleep every night. You're forgotten for 8 hours. How important can you be? The thing that seemingly you goes to sleep for 8 hours and forgets itself.
My God.
Yeah. What we need is like a morning, just like the dream at night that seems to be so distinctly different than the awake dream. The only difference is the one at night has a morning, and the one in the awake dream doesn't have a morning. And so what satsang does is plays the role of the morning. Yeah. So we wake up. Yeah. Not wake up to awakeness. We are awake. We wake up to the dreaming that we're not awake. That's what we wake up to. The liberation is from the need to be liberated. Yeah. There's no need to be awake. What needs to be seen is what's telling you you're not awake. Yeah. And how could it tell you unless you were awake? And how could you have heard it unless you were awake? Yeah. It would have to do text messages to you. Yeah. But you're awake. So, fact, not you are awake as if the importance is on you and the awake is the auxiliary event. No, awakeness is us. And then this awakeness in dreaming can believe it's not awake. And it can also believe it is awake. Now, I see things go a lot better when it's dreaming it is awake than when it's dreaming it's not awake. Yeah. Because when you're dreaming you're not awake, a lot of shit can occur. Yeah. So the traveling lighter is not that you're awake, that's a fact. It's that you have awakened, you're awake to being awake, so to speak. Yeah. Instead of you're not, the other posture is being asleep to being awake. It's just what happens. It's not that that which is being asleep becomes awake to awake. You lose interest in that which is being asleep to awakeness. And by losing interest in that, the awakeness, which is the obvious condition, just rises up. Yes? So you just see you're not that which believes it's not awake. That's all.
Yeah,
That thing that believes it's not awake doesn't become awake because it's awake already.
Yeah.
And its role here is to be asleep to it. Why fucking try to wake the fucker up? Just realize you're not that, and now you'll be awake to it. Yeah. And you'll watch, and it can be a comedic reservoir of incredible humor. You'll watch that which thinks it's asleep do its fucking number. You'll watch it from what? Being awake. Yeah. And so what was when you weren't seemingly awake to being awake, that CNN 24/7 broadcast that constantly grabbed your attention and interest with catastrophes, past and future, and all this shit become Comedy Central. Yeah. The station doesn't change. It's still presenting the news, but you're laughing at the fucking broadcasters because it's hilarious. They have no idea what's fucking going on. And you're not there to illuminate it. That's the beauty of it. You lose interest in it. Oh, I'm gonna wait behind until that which believes it's asleep. Wait, no, fuck it. I don't believe it has the ability. It's not in an AI situation. It's programmed. It's programmed to believe the dream is the awakeness, and the awakeness is like a dream. Yeah. Why seeing that as the program, why would you want to play around with that program? Only the program would want to work on itself. Yeah. So you just lose interest and walk around and yeah. I have super clear eyes to see, and I still bump into shit as the action figure. That's the funny thing about it. Yeah. Action figure has big blind spots like it always did. Yeah. Wow. I swear I'm looking right at the keys and I have a thought that they should be somewhere else and I do not see the keys. Do I spend any time trying to convince that otherwise? No. I just realize its limits and sort of have a good laugh about it. Yeah. Yeah. We have the dogs are congregating at the location. I gotta do I take care of dogs now. Fortunately, I had 2 for between 7 and 8. Yeah. Oh, there's one of them. All right, so yeah, these questions are great and shares because they're really are illustrating what we're trying to say here perfectly, literally. Yeah, yeah. That hook of you really blew it. You were looking over into the void, and then you made a stupid choice, motherfucker. You stepped back, never to be at that void again. Yeah. Gotcha. Uh, what would happen if you realized you're from the void? Would you think you were going to miss the void by not stepping? Maybe every step you take is in the void. Yeah. Yeah. Or you want the magicalness of the mental idea of the void. Yeah. You'll be the only one there. You will be in the void. You will be the only person ever to enter the void. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, very nice, William. Yeah, chill out. Drop that one. Yeah, we'll remind you if you like. Yeah.
Say again,
Yes.
say again.
I said drop that one if you can, or just see it's not a unique recognition of an incredible exotic moment. It's just a run-of-the-mill pattern.
Got a lot of clarity on that. Thank you.
Fantastic. Great. Yeah. It can get you stuck in a place for years. We always make the joke about the head. You're listening to it, and then at the last breath, it says, you really blew it, and then you pass away. That's sort of like this type of shit. This is what it does. Yeah. Gotcha. Reels you in for another set of lifetimes. Yes. It's always we blew it. Yes. Isn't it? It's always we blew it. It's always like a self-centered view. I could have been, if I would have done something different. No. This is all self-centered fairy tales, literally. Yeah. It all rests on my shoulder. The course of the universe. No, it doesn't. The person next door hasn't thought about you in years, probably. Really. They're not trying to lean over the fence to see what you're doing. I know he's doing something incredible. No, probably not. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kathleen? This has been a rousing evening. Yes, I mean.
Been a very lovely evening together right now. I don't see any other hands up. Does anybody have a comment or question for Paul? Come on in, Zoe. I see you.
Well, actually, it's not me. I see Eric raising his hand. So I was going to let you guys know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Eric. Okay. I'm sorry. Thank you, Zoe.
Yeah, you bet.
Come on in, Eric.
I was successively ignoring Eric, and thanks, Zoe. No, it's all right. Eric, come on in.
Which Eric are you talking about?
Oh, another Eric. Oh,
the other one. Okay, the imposter Eric.
How are you?
We're talking about the one that was raising his hand.
I see now. Come on in, Eric.
How you doing? Thank you for doing this. I had a question about the thief and the policeman idea. I haven't heard it before, but I feel like it holds relevance to a question I was having about catching yourself in thoughts and going through the motion of saying that that's not me. And then what I seem to do is I seem to really either juice that in either a pride light or a guilt light. And then I catch myself, having that reaction to catching myself in the thoughts and then using it to have pride or guilt about it. And then it's just a constant thing. And then I just kind of feel like I'm stuck in a box of, I'm always taking something out of it, even if I'm trying to see it for what it is.
Yes, but that's not the case really, because you were out of the box and then it says you were stuck in a box. But so the policeman thief thing is, there's a famous thing Rama said about this non-existent thing taken to be an existent thing by the head, let's say, yeah, and then wanting to get salvation for this existent thing as the existent thing. And your spiritual practices themselves will now be reinforcing this existent thing. How can they destroy it? Yeah. So this is what happens when you hear something's going on. There's a story that someone else shows up. Yeah. And that, let's say what's going on is a robbery. The thief is finally revealed. And then the policeman pulls up as if the policeman is different than the thief. Yeah. But it isn't. It's the same mechanical claiming. So there was nothing going on. Then you hear about something and it seems to trigger a feeling like I'm like that. Yeah. Maybe I'm an inconsiderate person or something. So suddenly now that inconsiderate person is being observed by another someone, maybe the authentic you. Yeah. So he's usually coming in to play the role of the thief. And now I've caught the burglar who's been robbing your life. Yeah. And only if we can send him away will your life get better. And then the policeman is going to take over and you're going to live your life sort of with the policeman narrative. Yeah. But what happens here is, so the policeman and the thief are of the same cloth. Yeah. Yeah. There was something going on that wasn't really being noticed. It's now noticed. That noticing is brought about by awareness, but that awareness gets claimed by the same thing that was claiming to be the guy running around. Yeah. And so now you're the guy that was running around, and now you're the guy, the real guy that's seeing it. And now is going to change that running around and become better or different. Yes. And send this fucker to jail and I'll live it the rest of the way. So that's the policeman thief thing. So what happens is, this is a mechanical procedure we're sharing. Whatever is going on, something arises to that going on and claims it. Yeah. So if there's doing going on, the head arises and claims it, and now you're the doer of it. Yeah. And now that doer is now the real you, and the one that you saw before is not the real you. You're now the better. This is the authentic Paul. But no, it's still just the machination of a mechanical claiming. Yeah. You never arrive at where you already are. You are the awareness, and the awareness is getting claimed in time, and it will keep getting claimed. Yeah. So if you see the first set of policeman thief, you're going to see the second set of policeman thief. There's always going to be a claiming of seeing what was, let's say you were looking from something before and now you're seeing it. That seeing is claimed by the same thing that claimed before. Yeah. It's mechanical. That's all. And so you don't get put back in a box, or nor do you get out of the box. That's an idea of you as a noun, and that is not you. So you're just the awareness that's in, out, under, over the box, because awareness is like a spacious infinity, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. and basically not located anywhere, not being directed by anything, just awareness. And so now you become aware of the mechanical claiming of the head, and you see the transfer of meaning from living life to hearing and interpretation of life. And you start noticing this stuff. And hopefully the non-dual understanding will lead you further back, yeah, to where you get to a very conclusive recognition. Yeah. Yeah. And then you can put the ball down there, and something picks it up or doesn't, you rest. Yeah. Yeah. So that's how I see it. So there's a mechanical claiming that will say you're the one that's saw the one that saw the one that saw the one that saw the one. Yeah. No matter how many ones there are, it does the same thing. The point isn't to catch it all the time, it's to catch it and recognize the mechanical nature of it. So you will not base your condition on its condition. Yeah. A lot of people have a free sample of awakeness, but they have a belief that a lot of what they're not is what they are. And they believe that if I woke up, that should change. And when it doesn't change, they feel like I mustn't have woken up. Yeah. But it's not going to change. It could, but it has nothing to do with the awakeness. The action figure is going to just keep doing an action figure scene. Yeah. To recognize you're not that, so you're not beholden to its condition. So then it's easier to recognize the conditionlessness of the situation. Yes? Yeah. So you are already that which you believe, your head believes, has to get into a correct condition to become. You're already that. Yeah. Yeah. So there's no need to get better, it's good to have better conditions just for the maintenance and the health of the action figure. Yeah. But as a step into the, the infinite, to a land into a larger, greater place, that's been seen through. Yeah. All of this is happening always in the here and now. The there and then, the future, the past, never escapes. Yeah. And you realize you never escape. So you get used to being here, so to speak, because you're not here. When I thought I was here, I wanted to get out of here. I swear, since I was 6 years old, I've been fucking scheming, doing drugs to get out of here. Spiritual practices. I mean, I wish I was, I would have been doing ayahuasca and DMT if I wasn't sober. All that shit. There was a drive to get out of here. That drive was put to rest like years ago. Yeah. Because what's the point? You can't get out of an imaginary place. So now I'm here. Yeah, completely. The last thing I ever wanted to be or do, or I'm here completely all day, every day. Sleeping, awake. Yeah. There you go. So I hope that helped. Yeah, good. The information, the energy is going to do what it's going to do. It's just downloaded this way. Yeah. And it was explained this way. And that's the only way I'm going to pass on is what was expressed or, downloaded here. I don't listen to anyone else and haven't for many reasons. But one of them was I don't want to listen to someone and sell their bakery, their product. It's not theirs, but I much rather, the muffin we're offering you is cooked today, Yeah. And I can verify its ingredients. It wasn't sent out to be made somewhere else. Yeah. Yeah. So.
You about higher power, lower power, and give credit to the higher power, but we don't like just noticing what that lower power likes, a negative thought or
hold on, someone who's here is giving me something. You want to just share it with me after? Yeah, well, she'll share it with me after. Yeah, no, it's fine, but they can't hear you, so then I'd have to explain the whole thing. Yeah.
Paul, We have Merle with her hand up here.
All right. Yeah, and I'll tell you after. Or share. Yep.
Something you just said made me remember something. I don't know if I asked you about this before or not, but when I was little, about 5 years old, I saw a picture in a picture book, and it was clear to me, like sometimes when you're in a dream and something is so clear to you that it's very meaningful, it was like riveting to me and a little scary, and it seemed so important. And it was this it was Asian, and it was a line drawing of a girl with a fan, and it was a very elaborate picture. Maybe there was a cat in the picture and patterns on her dress, and then inside the fan, that entire scene was represented on the fan. And then on the fan, inside the picture, the entire scene was represented again on the fan. And when you were saying the claiming behind the claiming behind the claiming,
Yes.
it made me think of that. And I'm wondering if you've ever seen that picture. I've tried to Google, I've tried to find it. I'm not a great Googler, but I can never find it. Have you heard of that? Is that a known thing?
I've seen that movement, but I haven't seen that picture.
That picture? Okay.
But I've seen that movement.
Hmm.
There was one by you know, that English comedy troupe who did all those movies. Monty Python.
Okay.
It's set in they're wearing khaki shorts and safari hats, but it's in an English park, right? And there's about 7 of them, and they break through this hedge, and they don't have any more water or food, and they're all concerned. And then suddenly the camera opens up more, and there's a camera team with sandwiches and drinking right there, filming them in their dire state. And then they wake up, and then you could see that go on and on and on and on and on. Yeah. There was another group filming that, and on and on. Yes. Yeah. So this mechanicalness never ends. Your interest in it will end. Yes. Usually our interest is so strong in it, it usually only makes 2 movements. And in our whole life, one part of you finally gets described as something other than you, and you live as the other. Yeah. It very rarely gets questioned. People, they may question aspects of them and find that that wasn't them, but people don't see the second one usually. Hey, come on, guys. Yeah. They don't see the second one. Yeah. And so now they believe the authentic Paul has recognized the unauthentic Paul. But remember, this is non-duality. It's not 2. Yeah. I've seen a lot of people who have gotten very clear they're not that first one, but they're identified as the second one, and there's no peace. Yeah. They're still driven to do more and more and more. Yeah. So in this case, the idea that there's them, camera crew, then a camera crew seeing the camera crew, on and on and on, to me is an elaboration of a mechanicalness, which frees you from any kind of responsibility or choice, because this is just how it does it. The mental claiming isn't just once, it continues. It just doesn't claim the doing and makes you a doer once. It claims the doing and has you as a historical doer. So it has a belief in memory that you've been the doer of everything that's ever happened in this life for you. Yes? This is using time like a magic trick. So this is seeing the mechanicalness of it. So whatever it's going to take, maybe it surely is not going to see, if you only see one side of the 2-sided face, I do not believe it's going to bring about a real ease and comfort. I don't. You may have a lot of skillful means that you're doing constantly to maintain something, but that to me isn't freedom. Yeah. It isn't. So we're sharing the non-duality of it, which is that which was the observer suddenly becomes the observed, And now there's the idea of the new observer being the authentic one. No, it isn't. Yes, you're not that. So it's mechanical. And so then you'll see when that drops, it will say, oh, I'm seeing, yes. And after a while, you're going to get it, that it's mechanical. You're not doing it. It's not, yeah. And you'll realize, wow, that could mean, well, it's not infinity because this is time and space. It's finite. It could go on a long time in a finite way. Yeah. Camera crew sees the camera crew, sees the, yes, on and on and on and on. It can. Yeah. For its drive, it was sufficient just to do it once in most of our lives. Yeah. Once or twice. Maybe you learned a little bit about you and you spent a lot of money at therapy and you did Landmark and all these other things, and you got a better observer compared to the first observer. Yeah. Now the first observer is the observed. Now it's the object to the new subject. Yeah. That's still subject object. This is non-duality, both. Yeah. This is why it's important to get the sense of a mechanical claiming once, 50 times. It doesn't take a break. It's like a machine. A machine, if it's supposed to hiccup 58 times, if it's running well, it hiccups 58 times. Yeah? But what would happen if this happened right before the 58th time? It would probably still hiccup because it's mechanical. Yeah? You aren't, oh, if I stood on my head long enough, it would, no. It's going to claim to be the one standing on its head. Yes. This is so good because this is illustrated right now. It's illustrated. You can see it, I hope. Yeah. I thought seriously that, all right, I saw the bogus Paul, and now what's seeing the bogus Paul is the real Paul. And now this is what's going to get spiritual. Yeah. Really. I woke up from the base instinctual qualities, and now my sublime sense, my true nature, is now the observer of this life. I don't believe that's true. Stop. Yeah, she's at work. Yeah. So, yeah. I think that's beautiful. If I was wanting to get this, I would be very happy about tonight's meeting. Seriously, a lot has been revealed. Yeah. Do you see, didn't that happen? Wasn't it as I got over my drug addiction and shit? Now I'm unfettered and now I'm going to become a spiritual person. The thief and the policeman are the same. They're from the same cloth. Neither of them are you. Yeah. It's so used to only going twice. It does. It's magic. It's sort of like the person who says they'll never be hypnotized. They're out in a second, It just gets you like the first second. Oh, they found out about the observed as the observer. Let's make the other observer be the one. Yeah, that's what it's done. Seriously. Yeah. And then it seems to have worked. Everyone, the end of the investigation. Oh, the authentic one has shown up. And yet they're not happy, really, or whatever. Do you know? It takes a whole lot to be even keeled and stuff because they still have a rocking boat they're trying to stabilize on a fucking, chaotic ocean. Yeah. No, this is something simple. It's easy. It's relief. It's relief from a lot of heavy lifting. This isn't the first step and the demands are going to get harder and, it's not like a fucking American Ninja or something. You got to do all these flips and everything and beat someone's time. This is not like that. It's just like you see shit enough, and then it's a very disarming. Yeah, because you know what gets called to arms isn't you, and you'll watch it get called to arms. Yeah. All right. There's some kind of defect. I'm here to fill it. Yeah. But you're the fucking source of the defect. Let's watch Die Hard 4. Yeah. Well, thank you. I think that's it for the night, eh? All right, let's say Maro. Nice, thank you. Yes. I've seen that imagery in my head many times. Not that imagery, that imagery. Yeah. That's how I felt the mechanicalness of it. How could it have been me? It seemed to have been presented to me. It didn't seem that I could do it. And yet it kept doing it. Yeah. And there was so much of the machinery of the action figure I thought was volition and choice. Man, I was in a lot of misunderstanding. Well, this is a misunderstanding. Yeah. And slowly, but it didn't matter. Basically, because I'm here to share, more information gets revealed. Yeah. Yeah. It blew my mind. I believed this stuff. I believed interest had a lot to do with everything, but really in this situation, it's loss of interest. Yeah. Because your interest has been directed. Since you were pretty young, it's been directed by the head. Your interest hasn't been free-ranging much. It's been directed. Yeah. Something was mining something out of it and building up a story. Yeah. So, yep. All right. Marl, very nice. Thank you. David, down under. Yeah. Raj Mahal, nice to see you again, my friend. Hope you're traveling well. Kathleen, as always. Matt G, I don't know if I've seen you before, but if I haven't, welcome. And I hope I see you again. Alan Olson, I know I've seen you before, Alan. Yeah. Gary C, Placerville. Eric, there he is. William Stamps, very nice, William. Yeah, just. Yeah. James Olson, nighty night. Naro, thank you for your share, Naro. Yes. Chris D, always a pleasure. Eric, Blatt, Zoe, Sid, Saraswati, Susanna W, David Bitterman, Susan Harris in Cape Cod, Bitterman he's in Detroit area. Yeah. Hari Bell, Stephanie, Lindy. Thank you. Hey, thank everyone, really, all of you. Mika in Finland, a phone number. Thanks. This was I feel like my skylight is still open. It's good. Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. Okay. Thanks.